you said it was a birth defect, so obviously you've dealt with this your entire life.
Yep.
Right? So do you think your own struggles through life has helped develop your compassion for helping other people?
Absolutely. I think it's made me, in some ways, a little less tolerant. Because, it's like, buck up there, brother.
Right, right.
There's
Cut
a
the
little,
bullshit.
there's a little
Cut
bit of that.
the bullshit.
You're the last person to tell somebody to say it's unfair.
Right, exactly. That goes to that whole
Yeah.
thing. Like, I really don't want to hear it. Of course life is unfair. Like, your life is your life.
Right.
Like, just live it. Just live it and be happy for it. And, so yes. I mean, absolutely my experience.
So not professionally, but in everyday life.
In
you've experienced.
everyday life. And just who I am as a person. Absolutely. Who I am as a person is very, very much colored by my experience in the world and how I've been treated and things I've had to deal with and all of that. I mean, that we're all like that. We're all like that. I just have something so outward, something so apparent to other people. And also, I'm kind of a strong personality, I guess. So there's a lot of me. Like, I'm this little tiny person, but there's just, like, I have a lot to say.
Very complex.
So, I mean, again, you only live once. Like, so get out there and do the things you want to do and say the things you want to say and be who you want to be and, like, don't let anybody hold you back.
My mom used to say that dynamite comes in small packages.
It does.
Because my mom, she's a short woman, too. She's around 5 foot, maybe.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. That's where I get my height from. So, like, my dad was 6'2" or 6'3", and my mom's, like, 5 foot. So, like, I ended up somewhere in the middle.
There you go. Law of averages. There you go. So.
Now, in the beginning, you said you worked with developmentally disabled.
Yes.
What brought you into that? Was that a passion project? Was that just something you fell into? How did that start?
It was very much something I fell into. So I went to Muhlenberg College undergrad, and the student union, there was a bulletin board at the bottom of the stairs right by the mailboxes. And they would do job postings, right? So it was like first semester, senior year. I was like, well, I better figure out what the heck I'm going to do, like graduation's coming up. And so I saw this ad on the bulletin board for Community Services Group. We'll give them a little plug in Bethlehem. And so I called. I was like, well, yeah, maybe that's something, like I part of me, I spent a lot of time in the hospital as a kid, Boston Children's Hospital, give them a plug too. They're awesome. It's basically saved my life. So, part of me just really wanted to give back, I just want to give back. I just want to do something good for somebody. That was where my head was, right? I'm like, well, that seems like a good opportunity. And I got so sucked into that job, like I was there 9.5 years. Do you think I thought I was going to be there for 9.5 years? No, I did not. So
that's how I felt. That's how I felt at my last job.
Did you feel like so? And I see this happen with people a lot, especially in the social work field.
Mm-hmm.
And it always starts passion. Do you feel like there's ever been a point where you were burnt out?
It ebbs and flows. I mean, it absolutely, with everything you do, I think it ebbs and flows. If you're giving a lot of yourself, and everything that I do professionally, and I think just even personally too, like I give a lot of myself. So do I burn out? Yeah. And there are just times where I'm like, oh my God, get me out of here. Like I need to unplug. I need to just kind of hit the reset button, So there have been times where I'm really good at digging deep and just kind of hitting that reset button internally without really going anywhere, without really doing anything. I can just kind of,
But you do a lot of travel, though, too.
Oh, I do.
And a lot of hiking. Like, I've seen the pictures.
That's another thing.
My life is...
I love that you don't let any type of your medical issues don't hold you back from nothing. You're still out there. You're trekking. You're doing everything that you want to do with your life. That's awesome too.
Like I said, there's so much to do, and I have a great husband. Like he's just, my parents. The way I was raised, it was like I had cross country skis when I was a kid. I had a bike that didn't go so well. It didn't last very long, but I had a beautiful, beautiful silver and maroon Schwinn. Loved that thing. Fell off of it several times. I did not have streamers. I think I had a basket. Like I said, it didn't go. It was a beautiful bike. that didn't really go so well. But we tried everything. I mean, you know, my friends had roller skating parties. I'd go to the roller skating party. I used to walk with 2 crutches, and so I just like push off, and I'd be one end of the roller rink to the other end of the roller rink in like no time. It was very fun. You know, I like ice skated. I did all that stuff, and so, you know, I had that kind of support and really expectation that I would just try whatever and do whatever, and I had that as a child, and I have that in my relationship now. So the one day, I don't know, like 10 or 12 years ago, my husband came home with a tandem bicycle. I'm like, what? We're going to ride a tandem bicycle. And we do all the time. Like, we go out, we ride. We did a Century a couple years ago.
Where the hell do you even get a tandem bicycle anymore?
Genesis Bikes in Easton. Give them a plug. Great bike shop. Great bike shop.
Genesis, we're going to need a check for that one.
Just bought my husband a mountain bike, actually, for Christmas from Genesis. They were great. But, so yeah, I remember a couple years ago we signed up to do City to Shore, which was, let's say, like Cherry Hill, New Jersey, like somewhere on the Jersey Shore. Didn't happen because they had horrible flooding that weekend and actually canceled it. So it was a Century ride, you know, 100 miles. It was supposed to be on a Saturday. It got canceled. The next day, I was like, well, we've trained for this thing, damn it, and we're doing our Century. So we did our training route, which started at the Philly Art Museum, went up back toward here and back down. We came back that night. We were at like 97 miles. My husband's like, we're good, we did it. I'm like, no, we are 3 miles short. And so we did 3 miles.
In a circle?
Literally, no, Nick, we did laps around the art museum.
Nice.
Because I was like, no, damn it, it's a Century.
That's
like, we're
awesome,
not done until we hit 100 miles.
For fucking making sure
Wow.
you finish that.
You know what I like about this whole story, though? Like, so me and Tony just got done watching this video not that long ago, just a couple days ago.
It was a TED Talk.
It was a TED Talk, and it was this gentleman who was told at birth, his parents were told at birth that he wouldn't make it 24 hours.
Wow.
And now here he is at age 35, and he's actually a therapist.
Wow.
And he's a motivational speaker. But he talks about not letting your struggles and disabilities define who you are.
No.
And I love the fact that you just told everybody you don't have to do that.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I mean, life is what you
Suck
make it.
it up.
Life is what you make it. Like,
I mean, even addicts or people with any type of mental health issues.
yeah.
You know, nobody wants to be defined by a diagnosis.
Right.
I am not an addict is not who I necessarily am today.
No.
You know, it defines the actions that I had in the past, but that's not who I am today.
Right.
You know, and that's how I live my life, and that's my basis for my recovery. Is that's not who I am today.
If you're gonna label me as my name, and my name is Nick.
Exactly.
Thanks.
Exactly. And I love
Boom.
that. That is.
Y'all didn't see that, but that noise, that was Nick dropping his mic.
That was
Correct.
a big time mic drop, and I loved it because I think that is what I am so passionate about, is that I know that you can be whatever, you know,
Yeah.
like, I mean, no, can you be whatever you want to be? Am I going to be a mountain climber? No. But, like,
maybe they
I mean,
got
maybe.
some electrical.
Maybe, like, there's some
connection.
stuff.
You could
There's
be a
some-
cyborg in a couple years for all we fucking know.
But, like, I hope not. But, you know, don't limit yourself, and don't think that you can't rise to whatever it is you see for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that I get excited about, and that's part of why I love working with the population at the recovery Court.
And I see that a lot, and I work with a lot of people in the recovery field. 9 times out of 10, the only limitations that a person has is their own self. They literally stand in their own way because they've talked themselves out of even trying or taking a healthy risk. You know, they're comfortable where they're sitting at the moment, maybe starting to feel a little uncomfortable and want to make a change, but they're scared to take that step.
And it is scary. It is. I mean, I've done things. A couple of years ago, I left my full-time job at the court. You know, I left as Judge Daly's law clerk to go work at a firm. And that was like, oh, God, you know, I've been here like 10 years, 11 years, and now I'm doing something new. And am I ready for that? And it was scary, you know, but you have to shake things up once in a while. You have to scare yourself. You have to,
right.
you know. challenge yourself.
Listen,
keep challenging yourself.
I never did well in school. Like I knew the materials. I could pass the test, but I hated doing the work. I hated doing homework. So like my grades in high school were not that great. I mean, you're talking C's mostly, occasionally a B maybe. If I had like a decent project that I would actually attempt to do. So like I was always scared to like go back and like continue my education because I didn't think I could do it, you know. And I finally took a risk at the encouragement of some other people and did that. And I just recently received my CRS certification. For those of you who don't know, that's a certified recovery specialist.
Congrats, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, I am.
But I was scared. I was scared to go into a classroom setting. I was scared to take the test. I mean, and then the nerves that came along with it, and waiting for my results to come in, because like I had talked myself out of the test before I even got the results. You know, like there was a point where like there was one question, like 5 questions in, that I didn't think I knew the answer to, and then I saw myself like second guessing the rest of my answers on the rest of the test.
Wow.
And I'm being dead ass serious about this.
But you got through it.
But I got through it, and I did pretty well on the test actually. But what I'm saying is like my brain will literally tell me I can't do it. And I have to battle that like daily. The self-defeating talk, the negative self-talk,
right.
That I know, because I know I'm not. I'm an intelligent person, right? The people sitting in this room are intelligent people. We can hold a conversation with each other. We know what the hell we're talking about.
Yeah.
But my brain wants to tell me I don't, and I don't fit in, and I don't belong talking to you fine people about anything that we're talking about right now.
And I think we all experience like as confident as I sound about what I'm talking to you about right now. There are times where I just kind of have to like times where I stop dead in my tracks. Times where I get scared. Times where I'm completely unsure of myself. Times where I am just sick of dealing with all the things I have to deal with in day out. You know, just to be me and get through life. So we all have those moments. But it's pushing through those moments to get to the next thing.
I really like that everybody is going to get to hear your perspective on this, because I think like some people forget that you're human. Like I think
like me specifically,
not you specific, just people on the other side of the curtain.
Yeah,
you know, like the guys who are going through your program forget that you're a human being.
We are people. With like thoughts and feelings and all that, and
they forget that decisions on their lives are not necessarily easy things to make, and they're maybe uneducated about what they're going into, and they hold grudges against the people who work for the system for no reason.
It's a setup.
Yeah, how many times have we heard it's a setup?
It's a setup, right?
Why would we be setting you up? We're trying to set you up for an opportunity for success.
I was going to say, normally to be in a setup, there's got to be some sort of gain on your part, right? So, like, what would you gain from getting somebody out of jail and trying to improve their lives?
Exactly. Like, I mean,
what is the gain there, right?
Yeah, it's like it's no downside for you, upside for us. It's the opposite.
It's the opposite.
You know?
When you guys,
opposite,
I wanted to jump. I had a quick question, jumping back to the changes that you made throughout drug court.
Yes.
When you had to make those changes, what was the process of it? Was it hard to make changes to the program? Were you given like creative freedom for the program? Like, how did that go?
Well, as I said, I'm the one who puts a lot of things on paper, so I will draft something. I will draft a change, and I will bring it to the team, and I'll say, "Do you have any feedback?" You know. Like, what do you think of this?
So you got to draft a proposal just like anything else.
Yeah. And generally, you know, like, oh, yeah, it looks good. So that's pretty much how that goes down.
How many people actually read it versus like, okay, yeah, you're good?
No, we talk about it. We definitely talk about it. I mean, it's a team process. It's very, very much a team process. But in my particular role, it's just because that's the role I have on the team, is that I'm sitting down and I'm putting things on paper. I'm kind of like roughing things out. I might ask for some feedback. I might ask for some information before I go into it to submit my proposal. Like, okay, well, you know, what, say, treatment professional do you think about this particular aspect that I might not, you know, have insight on? So, you know, I'll have all of that when I sit down to write it. So pretty much by the time I sit down and write something, we're good.
So is it safe to say that when you guys make these decisions, especially like when it comes to maybe clinical decisions, it's a group effort? Like you don't, one person or another doesn't just say, okay, well, I think this person needs to go